Pilots, welcome back to Motion RC. You're here today with your pilot Ryan and Captain Mike. On the deck, we have the awesome Freewing P51. This is a wingspan of 55.5 inches, just slightly smaller than the FMS version. You may be wanting to know what's the difference. I'm going to show you. First of all, pilots, let's just show you the retracts. Let's just get right into it. First of all, let me show you a front-on shot. Mike, how's that?
I love the lights.
Look at those lights, and then the drop tanks, the seam lines, they just really look very, very scale. The cockpit detail and the pilot looks so very scale. This also has sequenced inner gear doors, much like the FMS we know and love. But I don't know if you can see this, Mike. These are all metal units. They are not clad in plastic whatsoever. Everything about these is metal. 2 set screws on either side here to attach it to the strut pin. The tires are 3 1/4 inch, a little bigger than what we're used to. Also, let's see the retracts shut and close. Again, sequenced. What's really nice is these gear doors on the struts themselves have magnets at the front, leading edge. They click and close very positively right there. Now, of course, folks know this is a plane that comes with a sound system. If you want, there's 2 versions: empty, which I have here today for $279, and then the sound system for what, $319. So this is where those components go right here. We're flying it empty. I'll put the retracts back down for you. Of course, the tail wheel retracts. This opens up just like the real one does, but not with a servo, just by hand. And it's really just for access to the rear servos for the tail and whatnot. Speaking of the tail, look how the hinges work on that vertical surface, Mike. It's a pocket, just like the scale plane. Also, I'm going to give you a shot of the flaps. Look at them, rounded over in the front. No tape and just live hinge. This is Freewing, so you're going to find nylon hinges throughout. And I have them set up on a roll dial, my Futaba. But dig the pockets here, how they fit. I just really like it. So I'll show you the battery I'm flying. I'm flying a 3600 Admiral. I'm flying the Pro Series. Although you don't need to, I have some of them, so I'm going to use it. I've got it just about a 1/4 inch, maybe a 1/2 inch back from the furthest place forward, strapped in, nearly all the way forward. Metal trunnion retracts. Battery deck is ample, large enough to accommodate batteries anywhere from 3,000 to probably 4,000. I like the 3600 for many of these size of warbirds though. Flight time, I go about 6 minutes and bring it down. It's a great flying plane, guys. It's a little windy here today, but let's show you what it can do. We're flying dirty today. We got our external tanks on. Let me taxi past you. Freewing P51, 55.5 inch wingspan, flying in a nice windy day in South Bend, Indiana. Windiana and ringing it out. This plane is beautiful. We're flying it today with the externals. I'm sorry. Mike, are they externals or are they bombs? They're externals.
Those are drop tanks.
Exactly.
Pontoons.
Look at the sun just glisten off that scale looking cockpit. We really like this. Now guys, a lot of you may already know the Freewing P51 has an available sound system. We today are flying it without that, empty. I honestly, as far as speed goes and size, it's very, very similar to the other one this size, the FMS. Now, there are a few things I definitely like about this one though, and prefer. I think the scale outline on this one is a bit better. The external fuel tanks look awesome. The potential for sound system is a very cool thing.
I love the landing gear.
Try the, oh my gosh. I was saving the best for last, Mike, and you're right. The landing gear. Guys, the full landing gear are aluminum. There is no struts clad in plastic. They are clad in aluminum milled metal. Dog bones connect the gear doors to the struts themselves and are also threaded so you can get that positive adjustment. You have ball link control horn connections to your control rods and superior hinges with the nylon. The Freewing quality and scale fidelity just ooze off this thing. Don't you think, Mike?
Yeah, hey, give me a vertical.
Okay. Now it'll eventually fall out here, Mike, but the thrust is pretty good from the 4250 580 kV motor and 65 amp speed control. It's finally going. Cutting throttle.
Listen to that.
And just gliding back. You know what's also very cool about this plane? I like the strut covers. The gear doors have a leading edge magnet that attach, and that last little smidge where the gear doors close onto the wing, click, and it's just super flush and tight fit. Very cool. Sorry, Mike, didn't mean to go up there for you. Let's give a kind of little snappy thing for you. And
love this plane.
Barrel roll.
You know, I was
Look at that.
I was kind of looking at the static, you know, when it's just sitting there, and the panel lines are really deep, and so are those mock
Rivets.
I mean, they hang out like warts, right? And so I'm looking at that and like, you know, that's kind of extensive. But in the air, that's where it really, you can see them. And it's like looking at a real aircraft.
Gear pass, Mike. I'm approaching my 6 minutes if it hadn't gone off already. Look at the lights. Those are operated on the sequencer.
They're not burning battery.
Yeah, so they're not on the whole time or anything. I do like the flaps, although it's windy enough today. I'm going to go ahead and just land clean. And a little left rudder. And look at her. I'm just going to let her roll off.
I was all blurry on that one.
Guys, she didn't even nose over. I love this plane.
So do I.
And you know what? Although it's a little bit smaller, the FMS is 57 inches. This one's 55 and a half. You'll be glad to know, guys that fly on grass fields, that the tires are actually bigger. A little bit bigger. Also, the struts, come on. You really can't beat them. You saw them in the intro. We pointed them out, guys. They're just dynamite. Check out the spare parts listing at motionrc.com, which is where you can get this plane and many others. Also, the sound system version of this plane. We're going to try that out too in the future and see what we think about the added weight and whatnot. But as it is, 279 plug and play, everything you need, but the batteries and receiver. Guys, this is a beautiful plane.
Let's take her back up. Come on. Hooray! Let's take her back up.